All right, everyone. Unfortunately, Barron Trump has decided to take a lid on Marvelous Adventures at this time. He declined to be a GOP delegate at the convention. He may still show up, but it wouldn't be in an official fashion. I mean, he is only 18, so he's got other things on his mind right now, like go to college, which I'm presuming he will. He'll probably get a business degree or something. It'd be funny if he studied political science instead, though. That would be rather telling. We'll have to look at what major he chooses. I think that'll be rather a marker of where he wants to go in life. To him, of course, the advice would be, you're only 18. Don't set anything in stone. Just build your various skills and do your hobbies, make them productive, and you'll go far. I mean, I don't think he has to worry about where his next meal is coming from, for example. He's got a bit of an advantage over the average American. One that his dad is trying to expand to more Americans, and the current fool in office is trying to rip away from us through debt spending and wars and things of that nature. Barron Trump may emerge as the god emperor of a post-apocalyptic society after Biden accidentally presses the little red button thinking it's the one that gets his ice cream delivered to the Oval Office. It could happen. It's plausible. Come on, man, I want to see the nuclear football. What does this button do? Whoops. You know, they used to have jokes about Ronald Reagan because he was old and senile. They used to joke about him accidentally pressing the little red button. I would think that we should have similar jokes about Joe Biden, but for some reason the comedians aren't making them. I wonder why. So Barron Trump's not going to be a delegate there. I was hoping that he would. I would think that would be hilarious. Barron Trump, Barron. Yeah, Mr. Trump has my vote. That would have been a fun moment. Of course, the legacy media would have rambled about nepotism, but they're going to do that anyway. I think he's going to do his own thing for a while, and he really should when you think about it. 18 is a little bit young to be getting directly involved in politics because politics is a stinkfest. So I can understand the decision. It's just a little bit melancholic because it would have been funny. Here's this 6'7", 6'8" dude who looks a little bit like some of the classical statues of Julius Caesar in profile. That's a fact check. That's actually true, and it's almost a little bit strange. Who is very mimetic because he's literally got a couple of books written 100 years before, ostensibly about him, by a dude who is obsessed with time travel and wrote about political dystopias involving a Secretary of State named Pence actually involved with that. Very interesting, by the way, those books. I edited a copy of 1900, The Last President, available on Amazon. Go to my books blog. Him not showing up is sad because it would have been hilarious. But it's understandable. He's just a kid. He's a teen. He barely is an adult. He has only been an adult for a few short months, I think. His birthday wasn't it in February or something like that? So he's going to have to measure his time. I would say he should probably get his degree first. Go for a master's. You know, he looks like a smart kid. I'm sure that he can pull it off. Get a master's in business or something just like his dad has. And then proceed to build a little bit of a business empire. With a small loan of a few $1,000,000 from dad, he can probably become the next big mogul. Wouldn't it be funny if it just sort of ends up running in the family and he has his own offshoot, like a regional chain and stuff, and he's like, oh, well, I don't really like the real estate thing, Dad. I think I'm going to go into shipping and stuff. I'm going to have a shipping fleet. That'd be funny. He ends up with a bunch of cruise liners or something like that. I have a feeling he's going to be ambitious. All of the Trumps are. It's the way that they were raised. You can see with Eric and Don and Tiffany and all these others, they're highly ambitious and skilled individuals. It would be surprising if Barron Trump didn't follow through in that basic same mold. But people do need to give him a little bit of breathing space because he's still just a teen. He may be a really fucking jacked teen who is, again, basketball player height, with billions of dollars to the family name, but he's still a kid. He's still a teenager. We all know what it's like to be a teenager. It doesn't really matter. Just because Stacy over there has wealthy parents does not mean that she doesn't suffer from depression or something like that or gets pilled up. There's an interesting story, an insider story that I can't actually tell, involving how public policy ostensibly was shaped at one point because of Barron Trump and his teenaged foibles. I'll get no further into that because I don't know if that's meant to be publicly available, but I did hear it from another content creator aware of the situation at one point when I was on Timcast, actually. I don't know. I find him fascinating because here's a kid, and you remember in like 2016, you know, when he was coming down the ramp there and there's all the balloons and stuff, and he was looking up, he was like, making a weird face at him, and people thought he might have been mocking Hillary Clinton and her reaction when she got the nomination. You remember there was the confetti and stuff, and she did like that stress reaction face, and people thought that maybe he was mocking her. The jury's still out on whether that's the case, or whether he was just being, I think, a 12-year-old at the time, goofing off. And he looks sometimes visibly uncomfortable, but he's sort of come into his own. He has a presence, so to speak. That works within politics, by the way. Being very tall, having a presence, in his case, slightly solemn looking, actually. Again, teen, get depressed sometimes. Can be helpful within politics. What I worry about for him, for his sake, is should he seek politics, is that now that he's an adult, the legacy media and all the others are going to be hounding after him and going through everything he does with a fine-tooth comb. Most people, they enter into politics, or they're known within political circles later on in life. So they're an adult at the time. They're 25, 30 years old. Then they sort of make their entrance into maybe a local office, maybe they do activism or something like an Obama, and then they sort of rise up through the ranks. With Barron, his dad's president of the United States. His family is massively wealthy, extremely famous, very well known, one of the most well-known families in modern U.S. history, especially political history. They'd be probably at the top of the heap, right up there with any other political dynastic family at this point. So he's got the disadvantage that people are going to be like really scrutinizing everything that he does. So he's not going to be able to have like a normal teenhood. He's not going to be able to go on the date to the diner, for example. There would be security there, and mom might want to come along. And Melania, I think, has been very good at protecting Barron from this, and not without good reason. She did a good job. What I do worry about is that protective nature will carry over as he marches through his early 20s, the wild child days, and that he's going to be ending up sort of like you have to buckle down, and you can't really have fun in the normal way. You can't play with the other children, so to speak. Don't play football because he could go on the basketball team real easy. But then I'm sure that mom would say, well, what if you get injured? Oh my God, you might need a nose job if you hit the wood, and could be a little bit of a problem. I have a feeling there'll be a little bit of sparring there behind closed doors, of course. It'd be funny, all of a sudden 2 years from now you get, and this is the risk. He goes to a college party, has a couple drinks in him or something like that, and the paparazzi starts shooting unflattering photos of him. Oh, Barron Trump, here's Barron Trump with his illicit girlfriend, and he's drinking underage. They're not going to give him the Malia Obama treatment, where when she was smoking weed at Lollapalooza, the legacy media circled the wagons, rightfully so, by the way, because she's not a politician. She's just a 20-year-old, smoking weed. They're not going to give him the same kind of cover that they would give to the offspring of a unipartyist politician. They're not going to do that. And so, he might end up living a slightly insular life throughout his college years, which I think is unfortunate. He's not going to really get the party experience. If anything, it'll be the other posh rich kids, and they just, they tipple a little champagne and then go golfing. How exciting when the testosterone is raging in your 20s. That's exactly what you want to do. No, you don't. Let's be completely honest here. That's about all. Peace out.